I think it's very unfair, and I think it's very stupid. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Ebony Boost, who has 3 children and is currently on welfare, just learned about the state's new policy that will take effect October 1st. If your child is truant, missing more than 10 days of school, your family's welfare cash benefits will be cut off.
Maybe they have household problems, their parents, there might be something going on in the home, but I think they just need to investigate that further.
The Michigan Department of Human Services keeping tabs on kids ages 6 to 15 years old who will now have to prove they attended school. Threatening to take away state aid is expected to make parents more responsible.
Our whole goal is that we're going to increase academic success for children. We're going to have higher graduation rates, because the most important thing with this also is that we want to end generational poverty, and it starts by increasing our educational values.
Detroit Schools has one of the largest truancy rates in the state. Critics of the new crackdown don't see the connection.
It's not always as simple as saying, you're the mother, send them to school. If it was that simple, it'd be done. We wouldn't even be at this stage of them talking about that. So it's not always that simple. You don't know what's going on inside a home unless you're there.
Maureen Taylor, head of the Michigan Welfare Rights Organization, believes the plan unfairly targets low-income families, since they are not the only ones who aren't going to school.
What kind of plan is this? Let's punish everybody. Because this kid may have missed some days of school. Maybe we should find out why that kid missed school. I like motivation. But the motivation here is to take away breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
The policy change takes effect 2 days before Michigan's Fall Count Day, when attendance is used to determine the funding a school district gets from the state. There are plenty in favor of the new plan, like Ryan Battle, who says there is no excuse why a parent shouldn't be sending their kid to school.
It matters. I mean, if you're not going to school, if you're not, doing what you're supposed to do with your kids, then how's the future going to work? You can't raise new presidents if you don't go to school.
Cheryl Thompson from DHS says the state does plan to work with families, and they can get their benefits back if the state gets verification that the student has been back in school for 21 consecutive calendar days. Huel?
But Taryn, there's got to be concern about mistakes that could be made and what is considered an excusable absence.
Well, of course, there is a lot of concern, and then there's some concern that some cases could even slip through the cracks. Maureen Taylor, though, from the Michigan Welfare Rights, say they plan to fight this all the way, write letters, protests, demonstrations, anything that they need to do to let the governor know this plan is unacceptable.
And Maureen will join us this Thursday for Let It Rip on this very issue. Taryn, thank you.
Well, you can bet this has turned into a hot button topic on our Facebook page tonight. Here's what some of our viewers are saying. Nicole writes, I love this idea. I receive food stamps and have no problem answering for my children's attendance or taking a drug test. Paul Hinkle says it should be tougher. 0 tolerance, 0 unexcused absences, and drug testing for the entire household. Clayton writes, just more government control that we can't afford and no reason to do it. And Paula says, I don't like this idea. Sometimes parents don't have control of their kids after they walk out the front door. The debate continues right now online. Sound off on Facebook, Twitter, or myfoxdetroit.com. We might even use your comments on the air.